So this is a talk about getting you to think more deeply about value proposition design in your in your business model. So let me share screen and we'll talk about it. So first, I want to go to um, I am going to module 8A, and I'll explain that later, but it will be available to all of you. And in it, the first thing I want you to do is click on this link called Value Proposition Design Video. Okay, it's just a short video and it explains the elements of value proposition design. So the rest of my talk um, will be based on this 3.5 minute video. So let's move on to here. So basically, I'm assuming that you have spent the few minutes to watch that strategizer video on value proposition design. It's all designed around helping you to achieve product market fit. So as we think about your opportunity to solve a market-based problem, what I want you to do is, you should be able to describe your customer. What is it your customer is trying to accomplish? As you envision creating products or services for your customers, what are they trying to accomplish? Now, that's different from a B2B customer, a business customer. They're trying to solve some kind of a business problem that they're having. Um, but understand first, what is it they're trying to do? And then as you deepen your understanding of your customer, your target market segment, focus on, can you describe what is preventing them from doing what they're trying to do? Where is the pain point in the process of what they're trying to do? And if you can do that, that's going to give you deep insights into how to design products and services to address those pains so that ultimately you can describe a way how you can help your customer benefit by using your product or service. That's the game. So on one side of the business model design, the value proposition design model is fundamentally understanding your customer, the job they're trying to do, the pain they're experiencing in executing that job, and the gain that they would get if you can help them do their job more effectively. Um, so if you understand the customer, now we can focus on how do you develop products and services designed to meet those customer needs. So the other side of the value proposition design model really focuses on what you're intending to do with your company. Think about the products or services that you intend to offer to your customers. Um, what are they? And then think about, what features are you designing into your product and services, and how will those features allow you to alleviate um, the pain points as discussed in the video? Um, Also, you should think about, what kind of features can you design in your product or service that will allow you to create a gain for the customer, um, to hopefully please them. So the goal is to achieve product market fit. If you understand your customer's needs and what's preventing them from addressing those needs, the pain and the gain that they would get, through interacting with your company, then design your product or service around that. And this is what we're talking about with respect to achieving product market fit. So ultimately, when you come up with a value proposition statement, I like to use this formula. The customer has to believe that they're getting value over and above, equal to or over and above the price you intend to charge them to obtain your product or services. So which customer needs and or business problems do you solve? And is your value proposition superior to every or most alternatives being considered by the customer? So here's some tips for defining your value proposition. It must be targeted toward your customers. If you have multiple customer segments, then you need to think about, does your value proposition fit all of these different segments, or do you think you need to understand different customers and ultimately design different value propositions for each customer segment you're intending to target? But also understand that second bullet point is very important. Customers' needs change, and therefore, over time, your value proposition must be adaptable to those changes. And in a lot of ways, I mean, don't just think of the specific product or service, but your value proposition can be based on more than just the product or service itself. You can have customer service or convenience in terms of your choice of channels dealing with the customer. So it could be in any element of your business model canvas that could be elements of your value proposition. So think about it this way. If you are targeting if your business model is to focus on B2B customers, you're selling to other businesses, ask yourself these questions. How do we help our customers increase their revenues? Maybe. Or can our products and services help our customers decrease their costs? If you could increase their revenues or decrease their costs associated by using your product or service, it will result in happy customers because they'll have increased profits. To what extent, if at all, does your product or service help your customer better respond to the needs of their customers? If you can facilitate that, when they deal with their customers and with your help, it'll tighten the engagement with you and your own customer base. How can you help your customer improve productivity and cycle times? These are important considerations, and maybe your product or service offering is focused on productivity and increasing the pace of the product or services that they're trying to produce, the cycle times. Can your product or service help your customers improve quality or deliver superior customer service? So ultimately, think about these questions as you articulate what you think your value proposition might be. Now, that's assuming a B2B customer. Now, if your product or service is targeted toward end consuming customers, you can also think about, how do we help our customers meet basic needs like food, clothing, or shelter, or increase convenience to their lifestyle, or increase pleasure or decrease pain? Can my product or service help my customers maintain health and fitness? All considerations. Can my product or service help my customers better take care of their family and friends? Or Can we help them live more economically? So, or enhance, these are just ideas to get you to think about in terms of what might be your value proposition. So ultimately, you want to align your solution to the needs and wants of your customer. I like to think of your product or services. Are you offering the customer something better than existing alternatives? Better might be greater sensitivity, more accurate diagnostics, enhanced clarity. You can read it, higher reliability, improved experience. Or is your value proposition based on faster, helping your customer reduce their cycle times or to speed up their processes? Or are you offering your customers cheaper alternatives? This is known as better, faster, cheaper. Um, where is your value proposition? Where is your targeted value proposition that way? Then, of course, there's Brave New World. What new capabilities would your product or service make available to your customers that they never even knew they had before? Um, think of the iPad, or think of when the iPad was first introduced, or think of cameras on phones. Um, I mean, those were brave new world when they were first introduced. But after a brave new world solution is introduced to the market, all follow-on players in the market are trying to compete against that new product or service with better, faster, or cheaper alternatives. So the key point is differences along any of these dimensions must be large enough to induce customer purchase decisions. So that's a short presentation about value proposition. So what I'd like you to do now is, we skipped over it in class. We did exercise 5, 6, and 7, but we didn't do exercise 4. So here's exercise 4. It's explained here. And basically what I'm asking you to do is list your possible customer segments on the left, identify the problem that each of these segments might have so that you can identify a potential value proposition for them. And so part 2 is customer development activities. You've got to verify this. That's evidence-based entrepreneurship, validation. So list your key assumptions about what you think customers value, and come up with some designed experiment ideas on how you would test those assumptions. And I ask, when will you test each assumption? Which ones are you going to try to do during class? And which ones would you do down the line if you were really doing this business? So don't worry about parts 3 and 4 unless you actually do a designed experiment. Then talk about what you've learned from getting customer feedback and how might that impact resource requirements, something you want to think about. So that's my talk on value proposition design. And so your assignment is to watch this short video on the value proposition design video. Here is the PowerPoint presentation I just delivered. And here's exercise 4 that I'd like your group to work on.